Welcome my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the news first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on royal family. Big news from Buckingham Palace about King Charles and Queen Camilla. Buckingham Palace has confirmed that a number of special events will take place this month to honor what would have been Queen Elizabeth II's 100th birthday. The late king and queen were born on April 21, 1926 to King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. The Queen Mother, sadly, she died at the age of 96 in 2022. However, King Charles, Queen Camilla and Prince Anne will all be there to honor her 100th birthday. The King and Queen will start their tour of the new Royal Collection Trust exhibition Queen Elizabeth II, Her Life in Style, at the King's Gallery at Buckingham Palace on Monday, April 20. The King and Queen will be joined by other members of the royal family, and the next day, which would have been the late monarch's 100th birthday, to look at the design ideas for the Queen Elizabeth Memorial at the British Museum. There will also be members of the Queen Elizabeth Memorial Committee, including Chair Lord John Bryn, and the Prime Minister will be there with the family. Lord Norman Foster, a world-famous architect, will design the memorial, which will be put in St. James Park in front of Buckingham Palace. The Princess Royal will officially open the Queen Elizabeth II Garden in Regent's Park, London later in the day. That night, the King and the Queen and other members of the royal family will host a party at Buckingham Palace to mark the 100th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's birth. People from charities that were important to the late King and Queen, such as Cancer Research UK, the British Red Cross Society, the Jockey Club, the Royal Kennel Club, and the Army Benevolent Fund, will be invited. The royal family will also be joined by people who are turning 100 on this day. As they eat birthday cake, His Majesty will be able to give them their centenary cards in person. The Mirror says that the King will also speak to the country to mark the anniversary. He will give a moving speech honoring her amazing life and legacy. The Truth About Tom Bower's Perfect Plan claim what the Meghan Williams story really says. The headline makes it sound like Tom Bower has found a brilliant plan. Meghan Markle came up with the perfect plan to get back at Prince William before she married Prince Harry. The verified reporting is not nearly as neat. The strongest coverage shows that Bower's new biography, Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, has caused more trouble between the royals by making a number of accusations against Meghan, Harry, William, Catherine, and Camilla. The Sussexes have hit back hard, calling the book a deranged conspiracy based on obsession rather than fact. The storm is centered on a simple fact. Bower is not reporting a confirmed plan in the sense of a proven scheme with documents, witnesses, or on the record admissions. He's telling a story. According to Reuters, the book claims that Queen Camilla said Meghan brainwashed Harry, and that William and Catherine saw Meghan as a threat after the Sussexes wedding in 2018. According to Reuters, Harry and Meghan's spokesperson also said that the book was too dramatic, wrong, and obsessed. That's why the phrase perfect plan has so much meaning. It doesn't seem to be the official wording from a palace source or an official funding. Critics see calculation in every move, while supporters see women trying to survive an unforgiving institution. This is the kind of phrase that comes from royal commentary. The more solid claim I found in the news is more specific. Bower says that William and Catherine were worried about Meghan's presence and power because they saw her as a threat instead of an ally. The most shocking claim in the book is that Harry and Meghan fought at Kensington Palace after their honeymoon. The Irish Independent says that Meghan told William to take his finger out of her face during a meeting that was supposed to help fix things between them. That detail has been repeated a lot because it's the kind of scene that royal watchers can easily picture, a private family fight suddenly becoming a symbolic breaking point. But once more, it is Bower's claim, not a verified account from the palace. Bowers claimed that William told Harry before the engagement that the relationship was moving too quickly is another part of the story that keeps coming up. A piece from the Times and a piece from Reuters both suggest that William was doubtful from the start. Long before the Sussex split became public, according to Bauer, William and Catherine were worried about Meghan's effect on Harry and the future of their relationship. That is the closest the verified reporting comes to the idea of a perfect plan. Not proof of a plot, but a picture of Meghan as a very important person who changed the royal household's balance. The Sussex response has been strong because they clearly think Bauer is doing more than just talking. According to Reuters, their spokesperson said that this comment had long crossed the line from criticism into fixation. The Associated Press said the same thing in different words, and the couple's statement said that people who want to know the truth should look elsewhere. The Guardian also said that Harry and Meghan said that Bauer made up complicated theories about people he has never met. That is not how a couple who is just annoyed by a book that is nice or mean would talk. People who think the writer is using them as characters in a story about complaints have this tone. Reuters said that Buckingham Palace wouldn't comment on behalf of King Charles and Queen Camilla, and representatives for William and Catherine didn't respond right away. The monarchy is known for being quiet, but this means that the public only has two conflicting accounts: Bauer's angry picture and the Sussex's dismissive response. In a situation like that, the loudest argument usually wins the first round, even if the proof is weak. One reason this book has gotten around so quickly is that Harry and Meghan are already one of the most talked about couples in the world when this news comes out. Since they stepped back from their royal duties in 2020 and moved to California, they have been estranged from the royal family. However, they still get a lot of attention in Britain and beyond. So every new biography about them isn't just a book, it's also a debate about what happened when a modern celebrity marriage met an old institution. The part of the headline that says, "Before marrying Harry" also needs to be taken care of. The verified reporting does show that Bauer paints Meghan as someone who upset William and Catherine early on, and that William had worries before the relationship got to the point of a royal wedding. The reporting does not provide compelling evidence of a clandestine operational plan aimed at preemptively targeting William. It shows that the author made up a story in which Meghan's decisiveness, ambition, and effect on Harry were seen as threats by the future king and queen. That is a very different claim than a plan that has been shown to work. In the book, Bauer's main pattern is to put Meghan at the center of almost every problem, according to Reuters. He connects the couple's fight with the royals to their wedding in 2018, the distance from the family after 2020, and Harry's fear that William could one day reject or banish him in a way that is similar to Andrew Mountbatten. Windsor's downfall. The book isn't really about one perfect plan. It's more about a long chain of suspicion, hard feelings, and growing distrust that might make for exciting reading. But it's still Bauer's opinion, not an official royal record. The most interesting thing about the story might be how easily it fits with old royal myths. Critics have called Meghan calculating, while supporters say she is a woman who never got a fair chance to speak up in the institution. Bauer's book strongly supports the first version. The Sussexes agree with the second point of view and say that Bauer's writing is based on obsession and melodrama. The outcome is a typical royal stalemate. One side thinks it is exposing manipulation, while the other thinks it is being hunted by a writer who thinks speculation is fact. There is also a practical reason why these stories keep coming back. Their worked royal biographies sell because they promise to reveal secret motives, private fights, and the idea that one headline can explain a whole marriage or family feud. But the best reporting on this book does not show that Meghan had a plan to hurt William before she married Harry. It shows that Bauer has made that kind of claim, that the Sussexes have strongly denied it, and that the royal family has stayed out of it. That is enough to start a storm without making guesses into facts. So what's the real story behind the clickbait? It's not the Meghan has been proven beyond a doubt to be mastermind behind a grand plan against William. Tom Bauer has written another negative royal biography, this time full of claims about Meghan, Harry, William, Catherine and Camilla. This has started the same old cycle of anger, denial and interest. The Sussexes say he is spreading conspiracy theories. Bauer says he is telling the truth even though it makes people uncomfortable. People have figured out what's the true and what's not as usual. The Perfect Plan headline says more about the media than it does about Meghan. The verified coverage backs up a story of doubt and disagreement, not proof of a secret plan. It shows Bauer accusing Meghan of getting Harry to do things and making William uneasy. It also shows Harry and Meghan fighting back with unusual strength. What it doesn't show is that there was a royal conspiracy before the wedding. This whole story is based on the space between accusation and proof, and it's a space that should stay open. The headline sounds big, but the real story is something much more meaningful. What Buckingham Palace has actually confirmed is a carefully planned tribute, not just an event but a moment of reflection, because marking what would have been the 100th birthday of Queen Elizabeth II isn't just about ceremony, it's about legacy. And when King Charles III and Queen Camilla lead these events, it sends a quiet but powerful message: continuity, respect, and the monarchy is still rooted in her influence. The exhibition, the memorial plans, the garden opening, even the birthday gathering, they all point to one thing: the royal family is shaping how his story will remember her. And that matters because legacy isn't just what someone leaves behind, it's what others choose to highlight. In my view, this is also a defining moment for Charles as king. He is not just honoring his mother, he is stepping fully into the role of protector of her memory. And that comes with pressure because every detail, every speech, every symbol will be compared to her extraordinary reign. Looking ahead, this could mark the beginning of a new phase, a monarchy that leans more on heritage and symbolism while quietly adapting to modern expectations. But here is the question people should really be asking. Will this tribute bring the public closer to the royal family or remind them of what's been lost? And can Charles build his own legacy while living in the shadow of one of the most iconic monarchs in history? Because in the end, this isn't just about remembering the past, it's about defining the future, one carefully planned moment at a time.